Hello, everyone. How you all doing? Welcome to the Hangout. Today it is me and Jessica in the building. And we hope that you are excited about today. Today is Monday, right? Let's
Mhm.
thank God for being alive. Let's thank God for
Yes.
arising. Let's thank
Yes.
God for arising. Come on now.
Yes.
Let's thank God for another opportunity for our business, another opportunity for our life, another opportunity to impact. So I am so excited about our conversation on today. I am Tamira Bell, brand strategist, graphic designer, and executive at Bell's Desire Production. The Hangout is established to impact you, help you walk to your transformation. We drop gems for your business, for your life, for your spiritual walk. Okay. So we are excited. At this time, I'm going to let Jessica introduce herself.
Thank you so much. Hello, you all. I am Jessica Raquel, makeup artist in Memphis, Tennessee. I've been doing this for 6 years, and this year I am focused on the CEO. So come and hang out with us. We know that you are women and men of business and of stature and integrity, and we want to have some conversation with you today that's going to be really good, not only for your thought process, but for your soul.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. If you haven't shared the broadcast, go ahead and share the broadcast. Share it to your timeline. And also tag four people, four entrepreneurs, four associates
Mhm.
that you are affiliated with. Why? Because we're going to be dropping gems that can definitely help them as well as you. We believe in climbing together. Why not? Why not get to the top of the mountain together, opposed to just one of us getting there? So we definitely want you to do that. Our topic today is willpower. Willpower. I want you to let that marinate a little bit, right? I want you to meditate on that a little bit. But I do ask again that you share this video, whether you're watching the live or the replay. If you are an entrepreneur, please place in the chat the name of your business, because guess what? People know people you don't know, but people you need to know. And somebody may be
Mhm.
looking for you. So this allows yourself to be findable on our platform. And so I want to again thank you for joining us on today. All right, Jessica, willpower. This is your topic, right? So I want to let you start it off, and then I'm going to piggyback, okay?
Okay, listen, I didn't expect that, but okay. Yeah, I can start us off. So, the reason I brought about willpower is because I realized that a lot of our issues as Christian individuals, as men and women in business, as just people in general, okay, because we have to have the willpower to get up and do the day to day things. It's not an issue of consistency. It's not an issue of lack of knowledge. It's a will issue. Will you actually do what's required of you the way it's required of you so that you can see the results that you're looking for? I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I told her, I said, a lot of times my issue is consistency. And it was like God instantly dropped it. Boom. No, it's not. Because if you had to consistently get up and go to work, you're gonna go. If you have to consistently get up and take care of your children, you're going to get up and take care of your children. If you have to consistently meet a need, you're going to consistently meet that need. But because we function in so much survival mode, we are fatigued and we lack the willpower to push a lot of times against the wall and the blockages that we experience the way we need to in order to get the desired result, which is why we quit before we've really started good. We start to burn out on consistency in the middle of our projects. We leave our commitments to other individuals who may or may not have supported us, but we said we were going to do something. We leave it midway through looking for excuses and reasons why we shouldn't have to do this thing because our willpower is tapped. So I don't believe that we actually look in and see where our will is being utilized. Is our will being utilized on individuals that's taking more than they're giving? Is our will being utilized on things that's not going to give us a result? We're doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Is our will being utilized in different areas of our lives that don't allow us to produce as fruitfully as we need to? It's a will thing. It's not consistency. It's not lack of knowledge, because we have enough opinion to speak on somebody else's life in a heartbeat. So it's not lack of knowledge.
Right.
It's a will issue.
That's good. I'm actually glad that you brought up consistency too, because some people are consistent, but they don't have that, right? They
Yeah.
don't have that. And
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to figure out, okay, I am consistent, but I'm not seeing the results. And it's
Yeah.
because they're missing that fire, right? And
Yeah.
it's
That
amazing that you
will.
bring up willpower, because I think sometimes people confuse willpower with self control. Um,
Ooh.
they kind of confuse it, not realizing that willpower says. And then we got Shamika in the building. I'm gonna bring her on, but not realizing that willpower is a place of willpower is there we go. Boom. Okay. So willpower, and we have to understand, oh, we close, y'all.
There we go.
There we go. So willpower, we have to understand now self-control, we have the discipline, right? For long term. Willpower sometimes it's a temporary situation. It's a something you just got hit with something. And in that moment, you have a decision to make that will help you when it comes to your plan or whatever that vision is. So we're defeating a thing. And so I like how you said, sometimes it's like, oh, something came up, no, tap into your willpower, because even though something came up, you said this is what you wanted to do. And so I said all the time, we have to understand that disruption follows intention. And so if we're intending on doing something, we have to understand that disruption is going to come, but we have to allow our willpower to come forth so that we can say, okay, I know this is occurring, but I'm going to beat this. I'm going to defeat this, because this is not going to stop my plan. It's not going to stop my plan at all. Because if we continue to allow disruptive occasions, disruptive situations to come and defeat us, we're actually shutting down our willpower. We're shutting down the power that we actually have. And we got to understand that we have a strength on the inside of us that was designed by God to defeat these certain situations in our life.
Ooh.
These situations were not designed to defeat us. We were designed to defeat it. And I know,
That's good.
I remember a man made a statement, and he said that him and his dad was working on a car, and they got stuck in a place. And his dad said, no, we have the brain, not it. Ooh, we have the brain, not it. So because we have the brain, we have to put our brains together to come up with a solution, because we will resolve this because we have the power. Man. And so there are situations that occur in our life. And if we don't tap into that power that we have, guess what? We can miss what God really intended for us in that situation. I truly believe that a lot of situations, what do? A lot of situations, they are designed to show us our own strength. But sometimes our mindset can cause us to defeat it. Not defeat the situation, defeat ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Defeat ourselves.
Ooh.
So willpower for me is it's a must, because it's easy. I don't know about y'all, but it's easy to give up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to throw in a towel. It's easy to make an excuse. It's hard to persevere. That's hard, but it's worth it. So that's my thought so far.
Listen, welcome, Shamika. We are glad that you were able to get on. You know, we are looking for you to bring in that fire with that wisdom that you got to come on, lay this down on the line. We are waiting on it. So go ahead. The floor is yours, sis.
You are so sweet. I honor the both of you and thank you for, letting me get on. I look forward to hanging out with the two of you beauties each and every Monday. And so today's topic is willpower. And I will say this, I don't know if it's something that a person is born with. Because
Mm.
we're born into a sinful world, right? And I'm not going to apologize after this meeting for being me. I'm going to bring God with me everywhere I go. That's just what it is. And when I say that, going back to being born into this sinful world, there are so many outlets for an opportunity to scapegoat your willpower. There are so many reasons to say, no, I'll do this tomorrow, or no, I won't do that. I don't think I'm strong enough. And so, like you, Tamira, saying basically that willpower is a non negotiable, I am learning in my journey that it has to be as well. And for our audience, willpower doesn't mean you'll get it right the first time and that you can keep going, or you'll get it right the 50th time. We know that you can fall down and get up, and that can be in so many things. So for me, I know that in December, I'm going to have a vow renewal reception, right? And so I've got to have the willpower to get rid of this weight, because for me, I know what I want to look like in my dress and at my event that I'm going to invite the people that I know, love, and trust to. And so I have to have the willpower to get up and work out, because I know that the type of the dress I want, it's not going to look good on this frame today. And so I may fall down, and every day I may not go work out, but I have to know what my goal is. And so I tell people, when it comes to willpower, maybe set a goal for yourself. And that goal may be to drink 1 soda per day rather than 4. So having the willpower to know that your body doesn't need 4 sodas. One, you let yourself have that, but you have the strength to kind of get over whatever that hurdle is. And I'm sorry to have come into the conversation later, so I don't know if I'm hitting targets. But when I think about willpower, like you said, it is a hard thing. But is it really? I think that we also put labels on things as to what can be hard and what can be easy. And so while we sit in a hangout and we want to talk about getting better, I think from talking about marriage and business and legacy and different things of that nature, when it talks about willpower, you have to ask yourself, why is it hard? If you are saying that, okay, I'm renewing my vows and I want to look amazing, I want to slay for Shamika in this dress, then why is it hard to work out? Why is it hard? You know what I mean? Why is it hard to put down the soda? Have the willpower, because you know that what comes on the other side of that. If there's some reward, and if that is the willpower of getting up early enough to be at an appointment on time, the reward is that they're not joking. Oh man, we knew you were coming, Shamika, but we knew you'd be late. We knew you were gonna come do our makeup, Jess, but we knew no, you didn't know anything. Appointment time is at 7. I'm here. It's go time. So I guess before I end my little piece on it, um, choose your heart and choose what you're saying wisely. There go those gems, Jess. You know what I'm saying? Like, if willpower is hard for you, then truly ask yourself why. Don't call your husband, significant other, your girlfriends, your guy friends, and ask for their advice, because what is put in the middle of your willpower has nothing to do with the next person. The advice is simple: it shouldn't be hard, even if it is. And I'm talking as somebody who has failed many times. But then you ask yourself why. And typically you fail because you give up. You feel like, because Jess didn't give me this outlet this one time, that I can't go to Tamira or Shamika to seek services. And so you don't have that willpower to persevere. And you've got to ask yourself why. That's my 2 cents. So
Child. Now, see what I'm talking about every single time. Every single time. Listen, when you say you don't have the willpower to persevere, I think they hit everybody across the top of the head. If nothing else stood out, that alone. Willpower is defined as control exerted to do something or restrain impulses. So willpower and discipline go hand in hand, and because we lack discipline,
come on.
because we lack the emotional control, so that we can get out of our feelings and get into what actually needs to be done. And that's a big thing right now, letting your fit, because your feelings are deceitful, right? Your feelings will have you to believe that no one supports you. Now you're blinded and you're missing out on all of these people who are actually cheering for you. And so when you realize that all of these people are actually cheering for you, that should boost your willpower to do the thing that's required of you. But if nobody ever shows up, and one thing I told the ladies that I do 5 a.m. prayer with, I said, I invited you all in. They would always apologize. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. There's no condemnation. 5 o'clock is a hard press. It's a hard push for a lot of people. It was a hard push for me. The difference is I was mandated to pray whether you got here or not.
You better speak.
Now, because of that, I still have to get up at 5 a.m. I have to have the willpower. I have to create the discipline. Where there wasn't discipline for me to rise at 5 a.m., I had to make it come into existence by simply getting up at 5 a.m. and willing myself to get up and get my body moving, not lay there under the cover. Took the real nice time about in just a minute. No, get up and be intentional, because I know I have an assignment on my hands. And even if you're someone who doesn't have that type of assignment, you have a household. You have dreams, you have visions, you have goals, you have a job, you've got children, you've got a spouse. You have something on your hands every day that needs to be tended to, inclusive of yourself. So when you lack the willpower to do the things that are required towards you for your good, for your greatness, for your ability to manifest the promises of God in your life, then we have a real issue on our hands, because we're literally saying, I'm just not going to create the discipline so that I can have enough push to make it through this hard spot. I'm just not going. I just leave it right here. I'm dying on the battlefield right here. There are no warriors around me anyway. I'm dying on the battlefield right here. And I think that's something that we have to remember is that even though people are next to you, you have someone to the right of you and someone to the left of you, they are not there to carry you. They're there to take the journey with you. So if you don't have the will to get through it, nobody else is going to be able to push you to it, because you don't actually have the desire. So we have to be mindful of what area is our fire truly burning, and are we burning a flame that's going to fuel our lives? Are we burning a flame that fuels empty desires?
Right.
Because we have a lot of empty desires in our heads. We have a lot of wishful thinking. We don't look at what's reality and seeing beyond where we're standing. We look at what we lost and why we can't get it and how can we have it, instead of being bold in the position that we're standing in, the 2 feet that we're standing on, the people that we've become. Because I know there's some men that are listening to the people that we become as we go through the trials, as we go through the fires. It shapes us to be a certain type of individual, and a lot of us don't want to grieve what was so that we can let what is become. So when that fire is fueling, are we really fueling empty desires? Or are we fueling something that's going to create for the future existence of our lives?
Yeah, this is really good.
This is really good.
This is an amazing topic, because, you know, I think as a person, once you figure out the direction you want your life to go in, once you figure out what you want in life, that's where you have to be honest with yourself. Honesty is really key. Like, you gotta be real, like, I'm lazy, like, and you gotta be like, I'm lazy. And you gotta say, I'm not where I am, not because I was born in the wrong state, I was born in the wrong family, but because I'm lazy. It's like you got to be honest with yourself to even really tap into that willpower, because willpower is not a comfortable place. It's not a comfortable place. You are getting to a place that you don't necessarily want to be in, but you have to be in to get the results that you're trying to actually get. So willpower is on your team, but it's up to you to decide to play the game with willpower.
It's got to be activated.
It has to. And I remember last year, I started working out at 5 a.m. And I made that decision going into my 33rd birthday. I made that decision because I was like, man, I just done slacked off, okay? But I in the month of March, I did 5 different coaching programs, and each coach was from every aspect of life. But they were all millionaires. It was something that stood out this go round. And what stood out was all of y'all work out, all y'all, and I had a decision to make. And with me having children, right, and my son at the time not being one, right, he wasn't one yet. So I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? Work, have the kids, all of this. And I heard one of them say, I start my day every day at 4. I work out at 5. And I was like, 5? I'm not a morning person. Like, why 5? And by the time I got to the 3rd coaching program, I was like, I got to do it. I got to do this to get a result that I desire. And whatever I'm doing now is not getting me the results that I desire. And so I did not start working out to lose weight. I started working out because every millionaire that coached me in the month of March worked out. And I was like, that's the only thing that I'm not doing. I was like, I'm not working out. Like, and they will tell you it was a discipline thing. So I started the journey at 5 a.m. I just went ahead and did it. Like the next day, went and signed up for the gym. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it was hard. Like, it was hard. I was like, God, I had to pray, wake me up, Lord. Wake me up. And I'm going to be real, by week 2, I was like, man, this is the best decision I could have made because it shifted my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It shifted my mindset, not just for working out, but for everything that I was doing. So my time became more valuable. So how I could do something and it may have taken 3 hours, I started doing it in 1 hour because it was something about getting up at 5 a.m. that really shifted my thought process. I used to go to bed at 4 a.m. every day. Like every night, I used to go to bed at 4 a.m. My children did too. We were so dysfunctional with this time, okay? Like for real. And I used to think, that's good. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm staying late, blah, blah, blah. I started getting more done and I started going into bed before 11 a.m. and I was getting more results. And I was like, wait a minute now. I know for a fact I stayed up longer, okay? And how is it now I'm getting results? And it was in that moment I realized that I had to tap into another vein. I had to tap into another place, but I had to also be coachable. I had to allow myself to say, you know what? It's a reason they're doing this and they're getting these results. And it's a reason why I'm not doing this because I don't want to do it. And I'm not getting the results. But I actually think in the back of my mind that I can get those results and not do what they did. But something, a light bulb went off for me March of last year. Let me try their way and let me just see. Let me try something different. And I did, and my whole life shifted. My whole life shifted. People that I had tried to get in connected to, connections with. I didn't reach out to them last year. They reached out to me. I was like, what's really going on here now? Wait a minute. Doors that I had been praying for years to open began to open for me. I was like, wait a minute, time out. What's really going on? And I realized in that moment, it wasn't about the 5 a.m. It was about going to a place that I was trying to prevent from going. It was about tapping into a place that I knew would make me uncomfortable, but I needed to be uncomfortable. And I had to realize, girl, you done got comfortable, but you praying for stuff that you're being comfortable in this place could never get you. So you got to tap into another power. You comfortable. I'm sorry. You trying to, Lord Jesus, you're trying to beat something that's more powerful than your current state with the same power. And you got to go into another place and access a different level of power to defeat what you're currently trying to defeat.
You better preach.
And I was like, okay. And you all in that the rest of the year I achieved more than what I achieved in 5 years. And I was like, this is some crazy stuff. And so now some of the things I used to tell people, I don't tell them no more. Like, I don't tell people, leave your job and walk out on faith. I don't tell people that. No, I used to tell people that. But now I tell them, you got to first prove to yourself you're an entrepreneur. Replace your income.
Mm.
Replace your income, because I don't need you blaming God because you ain't making no money.
You better preach
You
a
ain't
word.
making no money because you ain't tapped into the right power, okay? You ain't
Ooh.
initiating some stuff. You want clients to fall out the sky and come to you, and you ain't willing to go out there and go get the people. You're not willing to expose your business. We got so many people that's in entrepreneurship, and they're like, I posted once a week, and I'm waiting on the client. You're waiting. Don't nobody wait. $billion companies have commercials that get on my nerves, but they making sure they in my face. They on billboards. They making sure they're in our face, but so many entrepreneurs are like, it's just gonna come to me. It's just gonna. I got my EIN. I got my name. I registered with my state. Now file, client. You ain't gonna do that. you gotta tap into a place that you've never been to get to a place that you've never been, and that really deals with the willpower. It really does, because it's already in us. The thing is, either our upbringing, what we're going through, how we were trained, puts limitations on the power that God is really giving us. And I truly believe once we tap into that willpower and say, I'm kicking this door down, we're going to go and access what was already intended for us to have.
Ooh. Listen, you send chills all up around my shoulders, down my spines, made me think about myself. Not even what I've been a full-time entrepreneur, I want to say 9 months now. Made me think about myself. Yeah, I told somebody else, I said,
Congratulations.
it's been the hardest journey of my life. Baby,
This race ain't given to the swift, baby girl.
listen,
It's not.
if
Right.
I haven't had to learn anything else, I have had to learn that this is not a passive game. It's not passive. And I think that there's a huge misconception, especially in my industry, being in the beauty industry, that because you're pretty or you did it pretty, people are going to come for pretty. And that's not the case. That's not, everybody doesn't get that popularity experience, if you will. And so I find myself often telling other service providers that will come to me and ask questions, and it's always so shocking to me because I'm like, you do not have been in this, not even know year yet. I'm like, you got questions? And I'm like, yeah, I want to know, how you did it, how you came here. I said, well, first of all, the thing that I want to disclose above all things, and I want to tie this into willpower this way. You have to become masterful at the things you do, and you have to allow becoming masterful to give you the consistency pivot that you need. And in having that consistency pivot, when consistency is not enough, willpower kicks in. Okay. So if I always show up halfway, which I was doing, I never see the result. I'm never consistent. And so then I say, I did my best. It just must not be meant to be, because I've been doing this particular function for months on end and not seeing the expected result per my expectations. I ain't asked God nothing. I'm just going based on what it's supposed to look like because of what I've seen. And surely nobody's experiencing what I've experienced. Yeah, they have. Whether it's your industry or another, yeah, they have. But if you look at, and Tamara, you said something really powerful. You said, let me try it the way they did it. I actively tried not to do things the way people was doing it because I felt like that's not going to allow me any originality. That's not going to allow me that true authenticity that I want to have, but that's not the case. We often want to be at the end of a thing before we're at the beginning. And so this has started to train my patience on this journey, because I was definitely one that put the cart before the horse every single time. And so what God did was he had to shave it back and say, no, what you're going to do first, because yes, while you may have this skill, yes, while you may have this vision, while you may have this idea, what you don't have is a sense of pulling the cart into position so that you can load it with the belongings that need there before you sit in the cart and before you try to direct the horse on what direction to go to get you to the end result. You don't have the willpower, the depth of doing to actually follow a process, to follow a sequence. When we're in school, we're taught how to follow rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get into entrepreneurship, the number one reason that most people get into entrepreneurship, I want to be my own boss. I want to manage my own time. I want my own money and for nobody to have to tell me what to do with it. Getting into this, it's a process. There's a sequence of steps. Let me go ahead and clear something up. You're not your own boss. You're not. You work for somebody that's called your clients. You're not your own boss. Okay? Let's clear that up. You want your own time. I want time freedom, and you can't have it at a certain point in time, but you don't see nobody's CEO or owner of the company taking a vacation if ain't no money there. So you want your own time. You work to earn your own time, just like you would in anybody's office establishment. You need office hours, and you need accountability for yourself. You want to make your own money and for nobody to have to tell you what to do. Do you have discipline with the money that you're getting? Do you have discipline to manage what you're receiving properly? Are you a good steward of the little that you're getting before you're giving a lot? Because ultimately, when it comes down to this thing called business and willpower and life goals, what God is really trying to convey to us as a message is that all of these things come with a process and a sequence of steps that we try to abort on the mission. We try to abort that area of the mission and just be out there like the Avengers. You know, we flying like Thor and Black Widow them. We just taking care of business, you know. Now, even they went through training, no matter how rigorous or how grieving it was. Willpower is a training ground. Remember, it says it's there to give you that resistancy that you need to pull back off of haphazard decision making, to stop you from having those impulses that lead you to make decisions that let you fall in pits. Willpower is that thing that's there to pretty much be a guard gate. I'm going to guard you from all the dangers of your own terrible decision making while I train you to go through a process and see the end result. Willpower is not something, and it's considered a noun, but it's not something that you just pick up and run with it because we're so used to the fatigue of the journey. You have to be willing to take willpower, your discipline, your decision making, your levels of patience, step by step, day by day. In essence, just like a muscle, we have to build it up. We have to build it up. And if I would say anything out of today's conversation, this is step one, acknowledging that, hey, I dropped that willpower. I sat that thing down and I thought I was going to go out there and rule the world, and I came back limping. So let me sit all down and get this willpower and get my decision making and get my discipline and get my habitual practices in order so that when I go to pick this up and run with it again, it can tarry. It can take me long and I won't be defeated on the journey. Willpower is a safeguard. And I want us to stop leaving that safety measure behind for flashiness and innocence or empty desires.
That's good. My turn.
Absolutely.
So I like to teach people because as three entrepreneurs on very different journeys, I think that we realize having social media, we see a lot of things. And so for the person who's listening to us now and who rocks with us and watch these lives, I want you to understand there's a thing called willpower, but there's also a thing called won't power.
Ooh.
And when you won't do a thing, you're in that won't power. And so the ladies have talked about several different things that I was going to hit on. And so just to expound on it, for example, what did you say? You want the end of the thing before you muddy through the beginning of the waters, right? Mm-hmm. And that's because of what you see on socials. So if you don't know the process that took just to resign from a position and decide to go all out massive action, you just think that you can post on social media that you're an entrepreneur in whatever field and that people will come to you. Well, if you read and you listen to personal development, those are some tips for the listeners. You will hear somebody by the name of Grant Cardone tell you about systems. I believe that systems beat talent any day of the week. I also believe what Grant said, if you build it, they will come. So, to Tamira's point, you cannot go and file all of your documentation with the states and all of these places and say, hey, I'm in business. And then we have those who don't file. So, I would love next week to talk about what it takes to start a business and to sustain one. So, for example, if you are a t-shirt designer and you haven't filled out the LLC paperwork or S corp sole proprietorship, registered with your state, all of these things, have your home-based business license per your state requirements, then you're no different than that lady who does hair in her kitchen that you talk about. Sit with those 5 different coaches in those 5 different areas and decide that we need to work out because they are, and we're not doing what we need to do in order to be coachable. I think that the reason that you worked out because you felt like maybe I had the will, but I had the want power. I am a former baller, and so I have the body. I've had my babies, my body snapped back because you said that you didn't do it to work out, but you did it because they were doing it. I submit to the listeners, sit with the people that are in a place that you want to go. And that could be a graphic designer, it could be a makeup artist. Do I want to be either? No. But I love that we can get on this platform, we can hang out, and we can dissect some things and how we all have showed and shared with you all that, hey, we don't know it all. We don't have all the answers. But when I did this, when I got up at 5 o'clock, whether you get up or not, when I decided to not only have one person coach me, which is another hint, I can't coach you in every area of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the marriage counselor can, perhaps the pastor can, perhaps a graphic designer can, if that is what your sphere of your lane is, if you want to be one. And then you've got your financial advisors and all of those because you learn stuff. I also tell people who don't have the willpower to read and to tap into personal development because I'll be honest, I have been a full-time entrepreneur since August and I had it all mapped out. It was really cute to put on shirts like what I have on today and know that I own a nice percentage of my brick and mortar. But the truth of the matter is, oh, my husband, he can run it. That's what he does. I'm not playing in dirt. And so, to be honest, when I decided that, okay, I'm going to be a full time entrepreneur now, I was that person who sat there like, and it wasn't, I got this business, they'll come. It honestly was like, what in the hell am I supposed to do next?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of this stuff isn't taught. And so it's self-teaching. It's getting up just like you would for a job. Because if you want to be your own boss, then you need to show up the way that you showed up for your boss at work. You need to understand what being a team member looks like. And if the clients or your boss, look at them like you do the person who gives you your performance evaluation. Because in retrospect, that's what clients do for us. Like you'll find that willpower there if you just plan out your day. And if you have nothing to do, you find something to do, like tuning in to us every Monday at 1 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Like, but before us, if you're faith based, why don't you ask God what to do? How you gonna put only reason why you pushing the cart before the horse is because you didn't wake up, or even if it was after wake up. See, a lot of people, you need to pray to start your day, if that's what you do. But you could be in the middle of your day at 1:43 p.m. like, God, I surrender all. I don't know how to do this. I know that I want to be my own boss because I want to pour into community and build more jobs for other people. And I have this gift and all of this. Let your will be done.
Yeah.
Let your will be done. Okay.
Yeah.
We know it's power in God's will. We know that, okay, if you have this desire in your heart and it's not to harm people, God will meet you where you are. A lot of times we put things on ourselves, limitations like this is not what God had for me. Well, who said that? Did you even confer with the Father? Did he tell you that you were or weren't to do this? Because if you are attracted by it and it is helping other people, there's willpower there. His will is there, but you have to be able to tap into those things and then seek help. The worst entrepreneur is the one who just sits there or throws up all over social media or via phone call and they don't have any definite purpose. there's no willpower there either. So I know that we have to wrap up, but I would just say pray about everything that you're going to do, and then God will lead people to you. The three of us didn't know each other before we got together, but there's some magic here because we just flow like we have been hanging out since elementary school. That's all I got.
Awesome. Oh man, this was an amazing conversation. You all willpower, tap into yours. Don't give up. Let this be a season where you don't give up. Let this be a season where you persevere. Let this be a season where you endure. You all, thank you for joining us on the Hangout. If Jessica and Shamika, you guys go ahead and let them know what you do, what you have coming up.
Hey, thank y'all for joining us. I am Jessica Raquel, makeup artist of 6 years in Memphis, Tennessee. At this time, I am offering a makeup class on February 16th. It's called Master the Basics CEO. I am creating space for the experience makers. You're always creating an experience. You deserve to have one while elevating your skills and learning something new to continue to forward yourself and show up more consistently and confidently across all of your platforms. So if you're interested in that, hop over to my page, add me as a friend, hit me in the DM, and I'll send you the information that you need.
Hey, I am Shamika Menacee. I am 50% owner of Presidential Concrete LLC, and we are a full service concrete firm in Huntsville. We do travel if the opportunity is right. Outside of that, I do own and operate the Menacee Group, which is an umbrella corporation that houses Presidential Concrete, our agricultural endeavors, logistics endeavors, as well as business and career coaching. So if you need coaching in any space, starting, maintaining a business, if you have questions as far as your career and you want to level up your resume and income, reach out to me.
Awesome, you all. And I am Tamira Bell with Bell Society Production. You all, at the end of the month, we are doing Reaching More People's Challenge. It is free. So if you want to do it, go to my page and click the link and sign up so you can reach more people in your business. You all, thank you for joining us on the Hangout. Make sure you follow all of us and just continue to stay tuned and make sure you hit that notification button. All right. You all have a blessed day.